Good morning and welcome to your Tuesday edition of the Morning Jog. My name is Matt Cohan, and I am joined as always by the consistently captivating Francis Ellis and Robbie Berger. Fellas, how are you?
Not as good as you with that ray of sunlight on your face right now, Matt. So
Yeah,
I don't know how captivating we are.
I'm trying to get the light right. I mean, I'm expecting a ring light, but it's like not coming for a month. But
Guy
I
looks like
figure
he's on
Robbie, I figure you'd be better than I would because you got some great news this weekend, huh, Uncle?
Uncle. Yeah. Big day. Threw my name in the ring for Godfather. I don't know if that's by seniority or whatnot, so let's see how that goes. But yeah, poor kid.
I was thinking about this. Little Burger. If you don't name that baby Slider, then I will.
That's pretty good.
Just think about it.
Yeah.
Robbie-
Hopefully my sister watches the morning jog. We might have a little slider.
Don't you think it's a little bit sort of greedy to want to be godfather and uncle?
I don't, Francis. No. I want to go double barrel on this. I think I deserve it. I think I'm the right man for the job, and that's for both jobs. So I don't.
I guess my point is, if you're the godfather and the uncle, that means you're taking the godfather position away from someone else, which means that the kid is going to get one less present on his birthday.
You want what's best for the kid, and I think what's best is to have me working both ends of the spectrum there. I really do. I think it's a good security blanket.
I always have felt bad for children of incest because, oftentimes their aunt and their mother can be the same person, and that means they're getting way fewer presents.
Whole different ballgame.
Francis, I think you are the only person on planet Earth who would think about it in that angle. And I think
the family tree is just so much smaller. It's more of a shrub.
That's what makes you great, and that's what makes you dangerous.
If my sister's watching this, she's not going to want to have the kid anymore.
All right, fellas. Robbie, while you are celebrating the birth of a life, Francis is mourning the loss of one of his babies because J. Crew Group, which operates the J. Crew and Madewell brands, has become the first national U.S. retailer to file for bankruptcy protection since the coronavirus pandemic forced a new wave of store closures. Well, it's not guaranteed that J. Crew will close for good. You can expect many store closures near you. Francis, we'll start with you. You seem to be most affected by this.
Yeah, I had a J. Crew phase in my life, where basically that was all that I wore. They were very reliable, very consistent, not overly expensive. The sizes were always correct and fit me well. I don't know if they were built for lacrosse players or sons who refer to their father in times when they're getting kicked out of nightclubs and say, do you know who my father is? So either way, their clothing was instrumental from the ages of 22 to 26 for me when I was living in New York City. And then I stopped wearing it because I started to think I'm for myself. And I will say this, I don't understand bankruptcy. I remember when Toys R Us went bankrupt, and then yet it still is open and sells toys. So I used to think going bankrupt meant the end of the line. It was toast. But I guess it doesn't really mean what it used to, because for all I know, J. Crew, or as we used to call it, Jacques, could still be around.
Yeah, and Francis, I feel bad. As the host, I cannot clarify what bankruptcy is. I hope I wasn't going to get any follow-up questions on that, but unfortunately.
It's all good. I can ask my father.
Yeah, J. Crew always seemed to me like it's the average white guy who goes to the party, doesn't have really any opinions, like we'll bring beers, but we'll drink some, like, just very safe right down the line. There's going to be a whole new batch of white dudes looking for a new outfitter. Robbie, what do you think?
Look, I in some ways, I would consider myself one of those guys. I know you didn't mean it as a good thing, Matt. That's okay. But look, I used to wear J. Crew, and people would make fun of me. I never understood it. I never understood why I was being made fun of, and it's one of those things I dealt with. But like Francis says, it's kind of middle tier. I got no issue with it. Not too expensive, not too cheap. Middle of the road. My money would have been for the first one to go bankrupt, an Old Navy.
Right.
That's where my money would have been on. So I hate to see J. Crew fall because A, I didn't expect it, and B, I always respected them, even though if people did not. Again, I don't know why people made fun of J. Crew. Just why I don't know why they make fun of like the singer Creed. I thought he had a couple good smash hits, but people are just known to make fun of these guys. I don't get it, so I feel bad for J. Crew. I really do.
You lost me at Creed, pal. Yeah, it is
I like
amazing
Creed.
that,
I don't mind them.
dude. Creed, dude. Do you like the song "Can You Take Me Higher"?
Absolutely. He's got a couple smash hits.
Those are big hits. Those are big hits.
They were big hits. Why is this guy, poor Creed, he's done nothing wrong.
They're big hits for guys who wear chain wallets and have ponytails. That's not for you.
J. Crew.
Yeah. Wait, really quick, Robbie. It's a good point about Old Navy because I'll be honest, I've been in there one time and I don't understand how you can sell blue jeans for $6 and make a profit. How is that covering the cost of fabric and manufacturing? $6 for blue jeans?
That's if you don't get it 50% off, which 9 out of 10 times they do have it 50% off.
They have bargain bins that just say, please steal.
Fuck it. We don't want it. Just take it.
I don't get that, man.
All right, fellas. Speaking of bankruptcy, let's talk about Michael Jordan, who it was, brought to light. Well, it wasn't brought to light, but it was highlighted last night or Sunday night on The Last Dance about his gambling problem. The big thing was trailing 1-0 against the New York Knicks in 1993. He went to Atlantic City. He was spotted. The casino was late at 2:30 with a game 18 hours later. The Bulls lost the game, fell behind 2-0. Jordan explained his casino trip at the time. My father said, let's get away from New York City. Let's you and I go to Atlantic City. We get a limo when we gambled for a couple hours and came back. Everyone went totally ballistic. He was in the casino last night. It wasn't late. We got home by 12:30, 1 o'clock. Robbie, what do you make of this?
Team Michael. Look, I'm Team Michael on this. Dennis Rodman's allowed to take a 48-hour hiatus, go on whatever type of bender that he went on with Carmen Electra. Nobody bats an eye. The first we hear about this is 20 years later. Jordan does. I think everybody was out for some type of bad publicity on Jordan, and they said since that book came out. But where Jordan really screwed up, if you ask me, he told Ahmad Rashad that he's ready to do the interview about it and get it over with. You can't show up with sunglasses on. It screams guilty of something that he really didn't do wrong. Take the sunglasses off. If you look at R. Kelly, every R. Kelly interview, he had sunglasses on. Screams guilty. If you want to do it outside, do it outside. Do not put the sunglasses on. Team Jordan, though.
Yeah, the same goes for Ray Charles on the sunglass front. And we all know his heroin problems, so clearly a good thinking there. I would say that what I don't understand is how does a guy like Michael Jordan, who is so competitive and is gambling on everything from golf to going to Atlantic City to play blackjack or whatever, to the famous stories of the Dream Team where they would bet $50,000 on whose duffel bag would come out of the conveyor belt at the airport first. How does he not gamble on basketball? How does he not gamble on himself, right? I'm not saying Jordan was too competitive. He never would have thrown a game or shaved points or whatever. But in the same way that Pete Rose always, got in trouble and is being barred from the Hall of Fame because of the fact that he bet on himself, how does Michael Jordan just say, like, yeah, every other aspect of my life is an opportunity for me to wager, except the one thing I'm best at that I have control over, I can't bet on because some arbitrary rule tells me that I can't. I don't know.
That is an incredible point, and I don't know if I ever thought about it exactly like that. I know there was it was muddy waters when people believe he was asked to leave the NBA because all this bad press was going to come out of how deep the gambling got. But that certainly would lead credence to the belief that is certainly an option there. It's amazing.
Yeah. I don't know.
And Robbie, to your point about wearing the sunglasses, one thing I found funny in that Ahmad Rashad video was when he was like, Ahmad straight up asked him, he was like, do you have a gambling problem? And Jordan was like, no, if I had a gambling problem, my wife would have left me. I would have sold all my rings. I'm like, dude, there are a few steps like in between there that, you know, you could indicate that you have an issue, you know?
He's 1 for 2 because I think Jordan was divorced, and just in regards to the sunglasses, if you came on with sunglasses today, Matt, nobody would have questioned it with the light you have in your eyes right now.
Dude, it's a tough look, dude, but I think I'm going to ride it out, dude. I'm trying to fucking fiddle with this thing.
He's battling.
Dude, if you bring it up once more, I'm going to change it.
Yeah. Once upon a time.
This has been the second time, dude. If you bring it up once more, it's fucking changed. All right, fellas. Speaking of degenerates, well,
Good luck.
You guys know Ellen DeGeneres.
There you go.
Sorry, Francis gave me the setup before this, and I just muffed the alley-oop. I feel like fucking Bill Wennington right now. All right, but Ellen DeGeneres, her reputation has been going down the shitter within the past couple weeks. You know, it seems like everybody who once worked with her is coming out of the woodwork. One person said she was the meanest person alive. Her bodyguard has come out and said she was demeaning to him. All this junk. Is this a non-story, Francis?
Look, you know, I wrote a blog about this. There's so many things here that I think are fucking ridiculous. All right, the first thing is, if you're a bodyguard for a celebrity and you are upset and coming out years later saying that you felt demeaned that your employer didn't say hello to you or know your name, you're the shittiest bodyguard I've ever heard in my life. Like, how bad was your relationship with your father that you're sad that Ellen DeGeneres didn't talk you up and chat you up while you're supposed to be scouring rooftops for snipers and, you know, crazy fans? You're not, that just blows my mind. It's pathetic. All right. But moving on from that, you know, this is just another situation where it's like the public can't handle the fact that Ellen DeGeneres is not in person the person that she seems to be on her television show. That somehow, magically, you know, maybe she turns it on and has an alter persona when she's performing on her job for which she's paid $90 million a year. And it makes me realize just how dumb people are. You know, it's like, do we really need these people to be that consistent in every aspect of her life? Do you know how exhausting it is to be nice all the time?
Yeah.
For Ellen DeGeneres to like open schools for people when she's not on TV or shake the hands of all these, like, what? Let the woman rest. Let her be quiet and you know, closed off and introverted when she's not performing. She's employing so many people. That's an enterprise. She's built an empire with her various production teams and all that stuff. Whatever she needs to do to get to work on time, whether that means putting her head down and not talking to her fucking driver or her pool boy or the person making her green juice, fine.
That's a great point. And I think it actually links back to a revelation Jordan made in the Last Dance doc about, if you don't like me, if you don't like the things that I'm doing or the things that I stand for, don't follow me. Don't worship me. I don't need to be your hero. And it's like, if you don't like Ellen, you can show that just by not watching her show, not accepting a check that she gives at the end of the show. Don't accept anything under your seat. Just don't contribute to the Ellen brand. But like all these mutinies that like, oh, Ellen didn't wipe my ass. Is she paying you? Is she paying you? You know? Do we really need justice against Ellen, the dancing talk show host?
This hurts. I don't know what I believe yet. I really don't know what stance I'm going to take yet. I want to see Ellen respond. I'm very curious to see her response. But if true, this hurts. It really does. Because, I mean, it's like finding out Santa Claus isn't real. Like, Ellen DeGeneres was the best form of human, and that's the way it's been built up out there, that Ellen's just the best. It would really hurt if true. I will say I've worked in a lot of luxury hotels with Four Seasons, and a lot of times the doorman or the bellman that have dealt with these people all the time, when they tell you somebody's a prick or an asshole, 10 times out of 10 they would be right. Just from dealing with them. So I do think there is some truth. Are we being a little hard on her? Probably. Need to hear Ellen's response. I'm very curious about that.
Right. Yeah. Look, I think it's one thing to find out that a celebrity who is super nice and well-liked and popular, is like beating her children behind the scenes, or, just me tooing people, whatever it is. That's enough to like sink someone's reputation and have us all tune out from that person. But if she's quiet and not that she's not that nice, I can live with that. I don't care.
Right.
Robbie, why do you care?
Francis, you might have seen this. Comedians in cars getting coffees with Jerry Seinfeld.
Yeah, I love it.
Matt, have you seen it?
I've seen clips for sure.
He brings on Ellen DeGeneres, and I will say it wasn't the same Ellen that we're used to.
Yeah.
It was a very different Ellen. Just keep an eye out for that. I just want you guys to take a look when you get a chance.
Right. I'll go
Can
back
I bring
and
up
watch
a
that.
quick Hollywood trend here?
Yeah, of course, Matt.
So. I guess. Yeah.
If you add a dance to your persona, you buy yourself 15 years without nobody bringing up your shit.
Absolutely.
You see Michael Jackson, Chris Brown's still around. If you can dance, you're good. Ellen has that little dance. She bought herself 15 years of working with people. Nobody said boo until now.
Soulja Boy's still worth $20 million, I think. It's a great point, Matt.
Unreal. Thank you. Poignant point.
Yeah.
All right, fellas. That is our Tuesday edition of the Morning Jog. We will be back here tomorrow morning, whether you like us or not. We love you. Peace.